Good evening. This is the Borderland Discussion Live. My co-host with me tonight is Mr. Jamal Kamara and Francis Mensah from Sweden will be joining us, and Lin Fogwan, the key presenter of the program. Good evening, everyone. This is the Borderland Liberia discussion. So before we get into anything, Jamal, I want you to say hi to me first, and let's get this rolling.
Hello, Paul. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. How are you?
I'm fine. Great. I'm enjoying Manchester right now, brother. Manchester really nice, warming. Not warming. It's a kind of weather that is mixed anyway, so it's quite a nice weather. So good time to be here. Good, always to be here on the borderline.
Thank you, my brother. It's good to be here too, where we're going to have very important discussion tonight, and equally so regarding Mama Liberia and all the things. So before we get to, I see our viewers already started joining. Kindly share the show for those of you that are joining us now. Kindly share the show. Tonight, it will be a firehouse. We'll be having Jay Rennie joining us, and Cyrus Gray will be joining us tonight as well. We will be on fire. What has happened in Liberia, we're going to look at it in depth. So kindly share the show. This is quite important. Kindly share the show. What have Mama Liberia come out to? And then we'll talk about international news as always.
Yeah.
Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger have finally left ECOWAS. What the reason behind it? ECOWAS are reduced. Jamal, this story today, the show will be really, really interesting. So wait for Jay Rennie, Cyrus Gray, and Lin Fogwan, who else again? Francis Mensah. So while sharing the show, I just want to tell our audience we're going to take a short musical break while we share the show. It's important that you help us share the show and grow the platform. Jamal, what are your thoughts on the issue that we're going to discuss before we get into our musical break?
Well, we want to ask everybody to help to share the show. Going to be a tough tonight. We'll be bringing other colleagues from across USA and across other parts of the world to discuss what their perspective on what's going on. ECOWAS was 16 countries. 3 countries left us. We'll be discussing details. What is happening right now in the house? Paul is quite interesting thing in Liberia, because up to now we have issues. Liberia have say impasse with these legislation. So we want to get into panel Liberians to tell us what you think, and if you also here, please make sure share your thought. Let's share it also with our audience. You're welcome. This is the place to be. Borderland Liberia live coming to you from Europe.
Yeah, share the show while we take a quick musical break. Kindly share the show.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber. Stop sleeping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people who us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. no one to trust. My people no one to hope on.
Nobody.
My hope that I have been broken.
I'm telling you, brother.
So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they said they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric.
People tired, they tired.
You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger.
Look at.
Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show.
Nothing.
So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock them for us. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and little on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So I said they lie.
They can lie, they can steal, the people fool us. Gentlemen, welcome to the Borderland discussion. Tonight will be fascinating. Welcome, guys. Linford, it's good to see you. Good to see you, Francis. It's good to see you, Jamal. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Thank you. How are you? How are the rest of the guys?
The people in Scandinavia always honor the weather, Paul. That's one thing I noticed. Everybody come here, they say, look, mommy, we honor the weather. What? Not honor the weather. So,
look, guys, the weather thing up. I'm kind of asking you to please go back to Liberia to help the situation there.
No, but no, Paul, don't tell her why they always honor the weather. Leave for Joto every day, leave honor the weather. Sometimes Joto is honor the weather. When you guys in Europe can be honor the weather, what the hell is going on?
No sunshine in the place, the man. No sunshine.
Being cool. I'm exposed my work outside all the time, so
You know, sometimes you need to put that kinju around your freezer there, so you don't look kinju with some spice in it, so you keep kill this stuff. I always used to tell her, you put kinju with the spice in it, then it will help you kill all that cold in your throat. Stop making you're doing too much of Jack Daniels around. You're making your throat cold.
One thing I will say,
you
will not know what life looks like in Scandinavia until when you live there. When I first moved there in the year 2000, by 2001, that was the coolest we had in this era. It was -40. The first day, the second day, -41 for a few hours. It went back to -40 for 3 days, where people died. They got the old people. They got the old people who they live on the farm. In the small road going there. They're the conservatives. They let to be around people. So when it was cold, they can come buy that food before the snow sets in, right? And they will live there in a cabin all the time. Then it begins so cold, water stopped, nothing could come again. So the helicopter, when it was lifting people, this old man could not make it to hang on the helicopter. He died. They left him there. They can't do nothing. So You don't know what a skin individual looks like. 1 minute is cold and 1 minute is a little bit mild. Yeah, and just for information, just yesterday, I went to there's this guy carrying his wheel somewhere and making a donut. I went there to buy donut. Then I saw 6, 7 guys from the UK. They came, all of them were walking the day. While I was just, dressed normally. And then they were trying to ask for a donut. So I told them, I said, no, the guy said the donut is finished. Because I saw that car. I said, you guys from the UK, right? They said, yeah. I said, okay, how you enjoying? They said, it's too cool. So I told them a story when we were in Southampton, where a little snow like this came and they closed the whole university. All the Norwegian students who went on campus standing waiting because we know that can't close the university. Nothing can close anything down here. I don't care how cool it is. So that's it. But until you guys will know, and the day I want you guys to come visit, any of you, I will let you come visit when it is in the winter, the height of the winter, like December or January. Yeah, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm getting back, so I'm happy, and the cool really grabbed me in the middle of something.
We understand the situation. We understand, but one thing I like my guy who's sitting there, Francis. Mono is always a tough guy. He cook and hate and go around. Mono, I ain't got any story to explain to her, but cool. Mono, you good to go, right, buddy?
So while Francis, before Francis come in, I'm gonna bring us Sarah Grace on the program. He's in the background. Francis, while we for Sarah, Jay Rennie will be joining us too. It will be fascinating tonight. These are all straight talkers, so we'll have a very important program here. Francis, why are you on the weather? Why don't you go back to Liberia? Talk to us, my brother.
My man, the situation in the country, every time you start to be hopeful, something will just derail or diminish your hope. What's going on in the country now? We can't go back, bro. So waiting. Maybe next year, probably, and things settle out, we'll go back home. But right now, as it looks, we are here. We still holding the ground. Yeah, the cold chaos will be here.
Okay.
I really have to pay bills and send some money home to help the family members.
I want to do something that will encourage Francis to go back. And the reason why I want to do this thing is where the hope builds in. And I just want you guys to bear with me. It's just about 51-minute clip that will make Francis to go back home. Guys, listen to this.
I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start thinking about our family, to start talking about, I think we come there to make sure that we give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
I encourage you, Francis, to give the Liberian people hope. Leave on that weather. Go home, make your contribution, and stop.
Paul, before you talk about family,
we are now contributing to the country.
Paul, you should be parking as well. Go.
So I just want to give my brother hope because he is never always on the weather. And this is the hope that we're talking about. Get home, my brother. This is it. Anyway, having said that, Linford will have your good friend Sarah Grace with us tonight. Jay Rennie will be popping into with his views. So, guys, share the show. What we're going to discuss tonight is interesting. We'll focus on what has happened in Liberia today. It will be our main topic. But then also in West Africa, something happened with ECOWAS. We'll be looking at that story also. And also internationally, what has happened in the Ukraine? We just want to talk briefly about it. A senator in the U.S. gave an interview that explained the reason why the war came in Ukraine. We'll talk about it briefly, then we'll go straight into Liberia. So while we wait for Sarah Grace, we'll start with ECOWAS. Jamal?
Lord celebrate. I mean, recognize our viewers for now. So
Oh,
the guys
please,
who joining us.
please do, Francis. Please do. And
I know
again,
from my boat. I mean, I don't see much people. I see Moses Mo. I'm watching from Pinsville Red Light, Pastor
okay.
Town Community.
Yeah.
Chadera Brown celebrate. I mean, Her Highness, the Duchess of London.
No, it's a
Okay.
Croydon. The Duchess of Croydon.
It's the RPCs. And Yvette Seif was watching as well. Our man Bakiti is watching our usual man. He's I mean his support is overwhelming. I mean he's always there.
The brothers are
Uh,
that guy. Yeah, you're right. They're good. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right.
Yeah, that's what Batisi says. Senator Lindsey Graham. That's the guy. He made it specific. So, guys, we're going straight into the topic while we wait for our guys. Let's start with ECOWAS. ECOWAS, Jamal, I want to put this thing on and I want you to explain before we go to Liberia because Liberia have done everybody headache. So we end on Liberia today. We'll find out what have happened in Liberia. There was a protest in Liberia. What the benefit of that protest, where our people gained from it, what have happened. We'll dive deep into that protest and we'll have Sarah Gracie and Jay Rennie joining us to talk about that protest in Liberia. So, Jamal, this is the story. ECOWAS, the three countries in West Africa, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, they have been given a pass to leave ECOWAS. Jamal, talk to us.
Yeah, as you see the pictures, it was just January now. The picture on the screen is about the three states in Africa, West Africa specifically, in the West African region. That's Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. They left the ECOWAS, the 16 countries of African states, called themselves the Alliance of Sahel States, the AES, Alliance of Sahel States. So these three countries left ECOWAS on the ground that there were sanctions because they are military coups. They didn't want to be part of West Africa economic ECOWAS anymore. So this this was welcomed by ECOWAS recently in a meeting in Abuja. So the question that we have right now, we don't have the details. What are going to be some of the pros and the cons leaving us, but what we know that they're going to have some economic effect by economic impact on the West African region, because Mali is there, Burkina Faso, and Niger as well. These are three West African countries. They also have their own potential. So, gentlemen, that's the story. Three West African countries leaving the ECOWAS state. The question is, what will happen to other African economic ECOWAS citizens going to this country? We don't know yet, but details will follow probably on our subsequent shows. But that's the story. So you can share your thought on what you think going to be the pro and the con of these three countries living in the ECOWAS states.
Oh, let's go to Francis. What do you think, Francis? And then we'll get Linford to chime in.
I mean, I think that's one of the silliest thing that they done. You want to clinch on to military rule. The only thing ECOWAS is asking you guys to transition from the military to civilian rule. I mean, you can have a kangaroo system. You have elections. You can have elections and transition to civilian status. It has a huge economic impact on the within the sub-region. The matter of fact, trade and commerce. These three countries, matter of fact, their people are what do you call it? They are nomads. They basically travel within. I mean, within the sub-region, especially the francophone countries, to go and work. So that would give them a different traveling legitimacy. They have a lot of restriction on them, even trade barriers. You know, so it is good that it is good that we hear that Burkina Faso, the leader, the president, the young guy is doing a lot, but going out of ECOWAS, the region, the sub-regional body, I mean, it's not a good. It's not a good step politically and economically for the country.
Yeah. So, Linford, what are your thoughts on these three countries leaving ECOWAS? Economically, will it benefit the whole West Africa, or what happened? Are we going to struggle with these people? Because these three countries too, they have they have values. So living with that have serious effect on how they call it on ECOWAS, the remaining countries.
Well, I think there are 16 member countries in ECOWAS, but before I dive into that, let me welcome James Tano, and I think James Tano may be new here, and also Joseph Sam Sewa. He's watching from Kak City. Kakata is my city, so I live in Kakata throughout most of the time during the war when I was across the land. So Kakata is my city. I hold Kakata dear to my heart. Having said that, let me come to the ECOWAS thing. First of all, I want us to throw light on what is the benefit of ECOWAS to its member states. I think we hear this acronym, Economic Community of West African States, yes, but how have they been economically helpful to other countries? You got rich countries like Nigeria in ECOWAS, okay? You got Ivory Coast that could help the smaller countries, but I don't see the economic benefit except individual citizens of each of those countries will move to one of the wealthiest, and try to pull himself by his bootstrings. Okay, so I'm not doubting that it will affect the existence of ECOWAS. Guys, those of you joining us for the first time, please share the show. This is the bottom line Liberia. So until I can be convinced that there is real economic benefit that the member countries receive, well, I would think that the 3 countries leaving, we got 16 countries, so we'll still have 13 more countries. Let's see what will happen. But what I know that my country or other West African countries have benefited from is that when there is crisis, ECOWAS will send their peacekeeping force, which we had in Liberia, ECOMOG. Okay, and they I don't want to downplay that effort. They did a lot. Their citizens died and stuff like that. But again, they were the peacekeeping mission. They were also getting paid because the UN and other countries were paying them to do the work. So it wasn't something voluntary. I mean, people will not understand it. It was, oh yeah, ECOWAS king, the West African countries king, but Liberia got soldiers in Mali. I think Mali or one of the countries up there. Okay, and they get paid from the UN and all bodies. So and those countries that are in ECOWAS, they pay membership dues and other things. So this is nobody doing anybody favor here. Okay. So if the guys feel that I don't know what I need to read a story, or it said that they were expelled because they have military coup, or did they voluntarily exit the ECOWAS? But whatever the case is, I don't think all of ECOWAS countries will be affected. Okay, neighboring countries like those countries that neighbor them might be affected somehow. Okay, for the fact that they may institute new rules that anybody from the other countries traveling, like the 3 countries that are out now, if any of their citizens is traveling to any of the West African countries, they might probably make visa restrictions so difficult.
Yeah, Linford, you can
Yeah.
hear us?
Okay. No, I didn't leave. Something just happened. I went blank. So
Okay.
they might allow visa restrictions so difficult or something. So yeah, in a way, let me agree with Francis and Jima. In a way, something will happen. So somebody will be affected.
No, but Linford, I mean, before you come in, it's like, I mean, I just want to know a little putting a little contrast to what you say. It's just like Britain, the UK leaving the European Union is like, we got poor countries like Romania, but the countries are all independent countries. What this treaty does is that it creates trade, it opens trade opportunities. I mean, people can trade. I mean, you do interstate trade, your goods and services, free movement of people. I mean, right now in the UK, they are creeping back in. They want to creep back into the European Union. They follow
I
the-
agree. I agree, Francis. But that's what I said. Some way somebody will be affected. Okay.
Yeah.
Other
You know,
the greater ECOWAS countries that remain the 13 of them.
yeah.
Be
Yeah,
affected.
and besides, and Niger is a very poor. They say the phone all, but Niger is very poor. I mean, these guys. Mali is okay, struggling. Burkina Faso, yeah, but I mean, Niger should be the richest country, but they got oil, but the
Okay, but let me ask you, Francis.
yeah.
These three countries, why were they ready? I mean, forget about their citizens moving to another country to go get job or whatever. Okay, why were they benefiting as members of ECOWAS?
Trade
Economic-
barriers. A lot of things trade.
Yeah, but trade. I'm
Trade
not
is
doubting
easy.
it.
I mean, you got less tariffs. I mean, you make your economy to boost. You can trade easily. I mean, now, you cannot trade. It will be. I mean, there will be ceilings. Will be the tariffs will be higher tariffs like countries outside the region trading with you. So these are important things right there. The political situation as well. I mean, it's a lot of ramifications, but I mean that we won't monopolize the show. I mean that move
No.
on.
Yeah, I
and we can discuss
don't want to make it back and forth. But okay, let me just say
Yeah.
that both groups will suffer somehow because
Yeah.
if you look at the Brexit, okay, when the Brexit came, poor countries like you just named Romania, poor countries that used to come to, I mean, their citizens used to come to do most of the funny jobs in Great Britain. They stop coming, and then what happens? The economy of Britain will also, shrink a little bit because of that. And those poor countries too, they will even get worse. So, I think it affects everybody.
Yeah, Linford, I think you guys are spot on, and we did discuss on the show that it was back in February when sanctions were put on this country to return to civilian rule, and I think Tinubu of Nigeria decided he wanted to use his military might on, I think it was Niger, and these guys say if that the case, they were walking out of ECOWAS. So finally, ECOWAS has granted them freedom to go. So we'll leave this one here and move to another topic. I guess I know if our guests, not guests, but one of the key men who have been on the show here many times will be Johnny, or if he's ready, he will let us know. We can bring him in. Maybe he can chime on. Let me see if he's sit there good. Cyrus, thumbs up so we can bring you on.
Okay, Jeff Cyrus comes in.
Gentlemen, how you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Thank you.
Okay,
Good evening to everybody.
Okay, Paul, Jeff Cyrus can come in. You struck a point that it first came to my mind, but then it slipped later on. Then you brought it back in. ECOWAS is suspending these guys or taking it out because of what military coup. If you look at the ECOWAS countries, out of 16, maybe because I don't have the time to count them, but I can count several of them that have had military. In fact, most of their leaders, from now, they came to power through military rule. Okay, they have had coup before. Nigeria can have coup. They let somebody changing their clothes. Okay, whenever they want. Or Nigerian told me this in Abuja to Aso-Rock. The guy said, "No, you see all these kids. It's just like somebody the military thing. I mean, they all got tired. It's okay, man. You come and take over." Nigeria has several coups. Or all the other countries, okay, Liberia. I know because Liberia have had coup. Gambia, all the other countries.
All the African countries have coup. Just cut it short. Yeah.
So why are they pressing on the three countries? Why have they seen that they're afraid of?
Linford, that in the society in West Africa, they have greedy hunters. I call them greedy hunters. So they don't want young people coming in to support their party. And these three countries that have overthrown their government, for some reason, they are doing better than these guys were saying they're going through democracy for this time being. And those guys, so it just tell you that if we stick with this, in my opinion, if we stick with the three countries, the others around us will see that Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali are doing something well, and it will encourage people to get rid of the greedy hunter. So let's get rid of them. That's my opinion. Brother Cyrus, welcome to the show. We're just talking about the what happened in Abuja. ECOWAS finally allowed Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger to leave to go. They call it the Sahel state. Before and follow from there, we'll be going into what has happened in Liberia today. So we usually give some international news first before we move to our main topic. So yeah, if you have seen this report, what are your thoughts on it? These three countries that they gave them a pass to leave.
Okay, you guys can still hear me, right?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I got going through a little bit of stuff here, but happy to be with you again after a while. Linfo, I had said I would join you the other day, but I didn't make it back to Monrovia on time.
Yeah, I saw your message.
The ECOWAS had a extraordinary summit of heads of state on the weekend, right? And I think the issue you are talking about is how the three renegade countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, have been dealt with. But to me, more is not about how they have been dealt with, because there have been significant diplomacy, especially headed by Senegal and Togo, to get these three countries back. So, yes, the coup took place there. They were suspended from ECOWAS and sanctioned, but they threatened to withdraw from ECOWAS. And they effected that withdrawal through the request to withdraw. That was a major discussion in the media on Sunday. Well, I don't want to go into the reason why the coup took place, because just to give an example, Doumbouya in Guinea also overthrew Alpha Condé.
Yeah.
And ECOWAS went in there and lay out, because they have their rules that they will not support undemocratic takeover of governments. And Doumbouya stood his ground. But he's still in ECOWAS, in spite of some of the sanctions that placed on Guinea. In fact, the Guinea economy is getting much, much better. I think by December 25th, the Guineans will have run the railroad from the tip of the Nima Mountain all the way to Conakry, a double rail line, build a new port and all that. So the issue with the three countries that have now asked to leave ECOWAS, and the ECOWAS heads of state tacitly agreed, because even though they agreed, they asked that Senegal and Togo continue the mediation until sometimes next year, when the actual transition will take effect, if it will take effect. But I think their withdrawal from ECOWAS is a loss to ECOWAS and to Africa. The reason is simple. There is an agreement from HO that the reason why Africa, the economies of Africa have lingered behind, is because we operate in silos. Small countries who own most of the world's mineral resources, but we are now united in negotiating with concessionaires and investors on how to deal with us. So if somebody go to Senegal, to Liberia to ask for, Senegal to ask to do iron ore mining, and Senegal set a high benchmark, they can just move to a poor country like Liberia, and they can get iron ore for little or nothing, or move to some of the underprivileged countries. So the idea of forming these economic unions was to be able to speak with one voice on both economic, political, and also social issues that deal with the people. You know that ECOWAS, by the ECOWAS protocol, we're supposed to have a free market among the 16 countries. That means goods moving between Liberia, Ivory Coast, and other places, there should be no customs duty on it and stuff like that. I know there are companies bringing oil from Ivory Coast through Liberian border and packaging it here for sale using the ECOWAS protocol. But if you travel through the border, you will go through all kinds of harassment here and there. So that process is evolving. There's also a move towards a common currency. In fact, the weekend conference dealt with that also, that they are moving fast to get us to use one currency, complicated as it may be. So for you to have 3 of very large countries pulling out at this time, I mean, we're really moving backward rather than moving forward in spite of the coup, because there are mixed views about why coup d'etat take place, right? For example, Alassane Ouattara, after his second term, changed the constitution to allow him to run for a third term. So when Guinea overthrew Alpha Conde, who was trying to do the same thing, ECOWAS sent Alassane Ouattara and the Ghanaian president Kufuor to Guinea to present the ECOWAS statement that, you know, they should roll back the coup or else there will be sanctions. So the Guinean officials meet them at the airport. And you know what Doumbouya tells Alassane Ouattara from Ivory Coast? He said, if you were in Guinea, we're going to do the same thing to you. So if you think about it, is you have to be pragmatic. The whole idea of democracy is being pulled down our throat in a way that even if people in suits circumvent the rule, well, it's not so bad. But if people feel disgruntled enough to be able to seize power, then ECOWAS coming. So my view is simply that, look, if Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are moving out of the ECOWAS community, that's bad for us. We have to rethink now how we approach the issue of suspending members, even if there is an issue of a coup d'etat, or maybe act in a way to prevent those coup d'etat. For example, if a president who has a constitutional 2-term jump up all of a sudden manipulate the legislature and ask for a 3rd term, instead of ECOWAS just sitting and watching, I think it is that time that they should now intervene and say, look, hey, you got to play by the rules. But after allowing that to happen, and then the military take over to come back and say you are strangulating the country, I think it's bad. And ECOWAS don't gain anything by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger leaving. I mean, the security implications, you will know that those are the front line for the jihadist fight that are coming down from the Sahel into West Africa.
Yeah.
So how to cooperate from a military standpoint. Because if those guys are failed and the jihadists extremists cross in those countries, they are into that. They're already in northern Nigeria. Anyway, they will enter Ivory Coast and other countries. So I think I will hope that they will negotiate it and find a way around it. Now, I'm using this as a caveat to also spin to Liberia. This is almost similar to what's happening in Liberia in terms of the tobacco at the legislature. Should we look at the issue of law and procedure, which is formed, and because of that, we stick to that so much that we lose on other issues, you know. So I mean, I know you guys discussed the issue of
we're going to come to that, Sarah. So we're going to just
into the way. So I
yeah.
hope that when I have the opportunity, we'll talk about it a little bit, because I've been very vocal about
we're going to dive into that. Yeah. So
I'm not so I hope we can have that kind of conversation.
Yeah, we're going to dive into that conversation. In other news, because usually this platform will always
Mr. Moderator, can I just come in 1 second on what Sarah was talking? You see, I sit here and scratch my head, you know, when I hear this kind of thing, because the first thing is these ECOWAS states, all 16 of them before, these people, they sit down and they see how bad the leaders have been. That democracy is just a frame, but within the democracy that they actually practice authoritative leadership. Okay. But if anybody comes to make a change, then they get angry and say, no, don't come. It's like, I don't know, like we all agree, do not break the law, but when you break it, then we all, I mean, I just know how to give the example, but I hope you understand what I mean. These people, all 16 of them, they know what they've been doing, what their leaders can do. Some of them come to power when they are young, they will remain there until they can't walk again. They will put them in wheelchair and get them to the mansion. But still, You know, when somebody
Info,
don't come with you,
I call them greedy hunters. That's the name I gave them, African leaders, greedy hunter. So, in other news, before we get into our topic, just want to break this thing here that I came across from an interview from the Fox News on one of their senator called Lindsey Graham. He made a revelation a few months back, and people are now asking, we keep hearing, why is the so-called war in Ukraine and Russia, this war came in? But he said something that is profound, and I just want our audience to listen to it. It's just a 51-second clip, and then we'll move to Liberia. So to our viewer for joining or the first time, please share the show also on the online radio, the bottom line. If you look at the top of the screen, you see our logo is called the bottom line Liberia. You can download the app and listen to it. This program is also relayed on there tomorrow. So if you miss it, if you have our app, you follow. So I just want to put this there quickly, and then we'll move to Liberia. Listen.
Assets could be used by Ukraine and the West, not given to Putin and China. This is a very big deal how Ukraine ends. Let's help them win a war we can't afford to lose. Let's find a solution to this war. But they're sitting on a gold mine to give Putin $10 or $12 trillion of critical minerals that he will share with China is ridiculous. Ukraine is still standing. This war is about money. People don't talk much about it. But you know the richest country in all of Europe for rare earth minerals is Ukraine. $2 to $7 trillion worth of minerals that are rare earth minerals, very relevant to the 21st century. Ukraine's ready to do a deal with us, not the Russians. So it's in our interest to make sure that Russia doesn't take over the place.
Linford, Francis, that's the solution and that's the issue in Ukraine. It's not about territorial, it's all about the wealth. Sarah mentioned something about Africa. Because we get so much resources, right? And we don't make good decisions, these people come and take it. It's no different from what happening in Ukraine. And Lindsey Graham has said it all. This all about, because we know that Ukraine is as rich as Russia, and what that part of that Russia is taking is the richest part. So all of this fight is all economic fight. So I just want to put that to, I don't know where you guys take them. We can dive into our Liberia. This is the situation on the ground. Guys, please share the show. Those of you that join us for the first time, you can also find on the bottom line radio 24/7 online. If you look at the logo at the top of the screen, just download our logo. You can do it through the Android phone, the iPhone. The bottom line radio is 24/7. This program is also relayed the next day after this show. Guys, what your thought before we move to Liberia? Linford, Jamal, Francis, any one of you can come in first.
Okay, Chima have been silent a while, so
right. Okay.
Well, I think Sarah needs the link. He wants to log in on YouTube or whatever. Or Sarah, if you listen to us, we can.
No, I will send it to Sarah. Go on. I'll send it now.
Okay, so Chima can go.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. You see, Paul, the clip you just played right now is nothing strange to us. I think it's an open secret. We all know very well that the war has been fought around here is all economic interests. So you know what's happening around here. So the senator speaking about it, all this from the US is just matter of affirming what is happening and actually reminding us what's going on. But I don't think there's anything strange here. It's nothing new. We all know what is happening around the world, and it's all about economic interest, also political interest. So I don't think we all know. I mean, for us, we know, but it's just like the people that won't listen. Like Sarah just said, just the guy in the smart suit will just make the decisions. These are the order of the day. What can you do? We know what's happening in the Middle East right now, and people have been crying. They allow demonstration around the world. Nothing happened, and until they want to see what they want before they can stop it, or else nothing happens. So that's my take on that.
Okay, Francis.
Well, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, the senator representative
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham has his own conspiracy theory on the reasons of the war, or the prolongation of the war in Ukraine. What are the benefits and what have you? I think for me, in my mind, it's all about power grab. Russia is defending its borders, defending its territorial lines from aggression of the United States and its allies. So yeah, it might have economic implications, but I think it's all strategic and security related. For how I see it.
Okay, great. Linford, your thought, and then before Linford come in, I know, be brief on this because something about Mama Liberia that we need to talk about today. I want you to be brief on this Lindsey Graham interview and something important happened in Liberia today. Victory or no victory? So talk to us before we go to Liberia.
Well, on the issue with Ukraine and Russia, I think you guys said it rightly. No, nobody will go for a war somewhere when you got interest there. You know more for one bullet. You talk about bombing thing. One bomb will cost more $10,000. So you go wasting in one area for nothing, and because you want to kill him, maybe no. There is a reason. No, when the Liberian war was fighting, one old man told me something. The old man said, "My son, you see all the BB gun is shooting. It's not a human being they want to shoot to kill. That they add there what human being get, they want to destroy. So that's why they made a BB gun. Because you can choose somebody with knife, the person with that. So why you will go for big gun? So before you see America and other countries to be supporting someone at war somewhere, look at Iran, look at Iran, look at where they playing Libya. Okay, it was all because of something, some interest. If it is not economic, it will be power play. So that's the whole thing. And the senator, Representative Lindsey Graham, is not a small boy in the American, politics. He knows exactly what he's talking. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that the bedrock for the entire thing is economic, or it must be some political or military interest. That's what America does not have, friend. So America will not say, "Oh, we love Ukraine so much, so we're fighting Russia, we support Ukraine to fight Russia." No, but something there that they want.
Something
one moment say if you bend down, you either pick up something or you lay something down there.
And in summary, something there that they want. Nobody go somewhere for nothing. It might be some benefit for you before you want. Thank you. My man, guys, on a serious matter, something happened in Liberia today. There were protests in Liberia today, and the protests turned sour. I will put it the Liberia way, it turned very sour. I know you guys have seen the clips on internet, the footage that came from there. I want your thought, and then we will end up playing some of the video. But before that other protest, there also another protest that took place today too. The nurses in Liberia are demanding for salary, benefit. They also protested today. They didn't go on the street, they sat home. So most health centers were closed. That's something that we didn't pick up because the other one is overshadowed. What's going on with Mama Liberia? Francie, I'll start with you before we go to any video thing. What's going on with Mama Liberia?
Look, admittedly, want to infer that look, the situation in Liberia, the optics is not good. It is not what we championed for over the years on behalf of the Unity Party. It is not what we wanted. We saw similar actions and similar situations during the last regime. It's people's right to protest. if I were the government, I was giving you guys the space and time, the opportunity to go and present the what you call it, the petition to the speaker or the embattled speaker, whoever he is, and then take control. Protests may be an instrument used to sound a warning or single out the wrongs of a missteps of a government for the government to chart a different course. But what's going on in Liberia, and there's a lot of things happening, bro, and we are quite disappointed. So now to take out most of the time, it's just unfortunate, violence and mismanagement and whatever, misgovernance. I don't know if it's such a word, but yeah, it's this drive investors away. Simple.
It just drive investors away. Simple as Francis put it. Linford, should I play a video here, and then let me have your thought. Today it should have been peaceful protest. Peaceful, according to the organizer. And I just want to find out the purpose of this protest and the benefit of this protest. So to our audience, we also want to hear from you. The purpose of this protest and the benefit of this protest. Have this protest gained anything? So let's watch the few minute clips, and then we can have a conversation.
This is the police. Gang off the police. Thank you very much. The protesters are engaging. The police are saying the we wait to see what happens next year. Well, we are protecting our equipment, folks. This space is no longer. Wait, my man. The police cannot resist them. 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 Gradually, they are moving in. Honorable Koluba is in the midst of the protesters. Gradually, the police are moving in. Gradually, they are moving in. The protesters are moving in gradually. Honorable Juju Koluba is entering. Honorable Koluba. Honorable Juju are moving away. Yes. Honorable Koluba is asking them to move on. Honorable Fogo is moving. They are moving in. The police cannot resist the protesters. The police are protecting the side of the Executive Mansion. The police are protecting the side of the Executive Mansion. The police cannot resist the protesters right now at this point. Spread your door, the kid. No. Shoot. They are not allowing tourists in. They are shut down the gate. 1971. The police are barricaded the entire Capitol building. There's no entry. This is seems to be protected right now.
Yeah, and it does not look good at all. The building.
The protesters. When you enter the session, when you enter the the police has used pepper spray already. The police are picking up pepper spray. I got bent too.
Right. Nobody chunking. Francis.
Look, in a much we thought these protests were being peaceful, there are some agitators within the ranks and file of the protests. Police are human. Once you intend to inflict bodily harm, on the officers, they will respond. So the first I saw the guard throwing stones at the police. The police did not begin to use pepper spray or tear gas. There was a guy or a couple of guys throwing stones at the police officers. So I think how the police responded. So in the midst of that, people, there was a stampede and people ran. I don't know, but yeah, so we can look at both angles.
In that clip, I think it was the pepper spray for the general said the throwing pepper spray, and that's when I got because something that he threw back at the police.
No, play again.
Okay, hold on. Guys, we want your input here. Please, the audience will also want your input. What happened to Mama Liberia? Let me play the little thing over. That's from the beginning. I just going to play this.
The police are protecting the Saturdays, hanging them action. The police cannot resist the protesters right now at this point. Scratch out all the kids. No. We are not allowing tourists in. They are shut down the gate. 1971. The police are barricaded the entire Capitol building. There's no entry. This seems to be protected right now.
Yeah, and it does not look good at all. The building.
The protesters. When you enter the session, when you enter the the police has used pepper spray already. The police are picking.
Now, the police have used pepper spray already, and this is where this guy going to pick up something and send.
Le pepper spray.
Let's not waste our time on the video. My question is, what has happened to our country, Liberia? What the purpose of this protest, and what have they gained from this protest? And that's my question to you guys and also the viewers. Before we dive into that, after this question, I will show another clip that people can protest. It happened in the West. They can have confrontation with the police, but police cannot step that boundary of using excessive force unless two groups are fighting that the police know they have no option but to put them under some sort of control. If somebody are protesting without any weapon and then just handful of people decide to barricade themselves, say you're not coming in, what the best, I don't know, I'm not a police officer, but it just what the purpose of this protest, what they gain from this protest. So I will give Saros the opportunity to talk before I get the other guys chime in. Saros, your thought.
So again, guys, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Hey, I may have well asked the same question that you are asking, Paul. What's the purpose of the protest? Well, prior to the protest, at least from the media and pronouncement coming from some of the subgroups that are involved in the protest, they were saying they were going to be protesting the increase in data fee. They're going to be protesting the tobacco at the legislature, and leaning more towards the narrative that, in fact, the other majority group are violating the Constitution, and they were coming to make their voice heard. And they're accusing the Bouaka government generally of being corrupt. I didn't go in town today, so except for a couple of hours of traffic out here, and then what you were showing, there's nothing more to it. I thought they were going to be going in there to present a petition or something like that, listing those concerns that they have. The picture that we're watching look like just people who are just up to make a demonstration, to be physical, not necessarily convey their political rights by coming out as a group of citizens to say ABCD, we are asking for redress. And I think it ended by midday or so, probably because it was also not organized and didn't have a clear purpose. That's also I would say to you. Maybe tomorrow we'll hear a lot more. Because after that, I listened midday to the Ministry of Information press briefing. It was just explanation that somebody said people shot down, police director said nobody shot him. The whole thing ended without any impact generally.
So what? Since you're on the ground, the situation on the ground, calm, everybody okay?
Well, I mean, more or less. I think that the whole protest is all people are driving in the streets again. You can see that the protest itself, the protest was not by a significant number of people that will at least make the political case and create a disruption. And I am here and watching the unfolding things. Many things are happening. I mean, obviously, there are people who are resentful because not much has changed in terms of the economic factors on the ground. So, ordinary people, while they may not be protesting, are asking themselves questions: "Oh, what happened to the rescue?" And but then also there's also a political play. Right, there's this issue of the CDC, stewards, mostly a few of the key leaders who I don't think have gotten over the fact that they've lost. So they will run away. Yeah, they will run away every opportunity to create disruption, even to the extent of being rebellious. rebellious in speech and all against the government. If you ask me what I think generally about what's happening in the country, well, I could give you my view of that. I think of what you're discussing here today.
Yeah, we'll come to that one. What happening generally in the country? I just want to get the other guy's view. And Francis, then we'll go to Jamal. My brother. What the purpose of the protest? What have they gained out of it? Talk to me, Francis. What did
they gain? For me, nothing. I think it was just it was a showmanship on the part of Representative Koluba, the rest of Safoko, and the rest of the people who wanted to show that they could challenge authorities. They were given a green light, and the police had a condom, had a corridor that could not, go beyond that. And at the same time, the president was at the Capitol building as well. At the same time, signing the book of condolence for the late Senator Gray. So it was, it wasn't a coincidence. But what did they achieve? For me, I think the signals out there, the optics are negative. The bloodshed and the scramble with the police, that they did not achieve anything. They need to go regroup, come back with more numbers and make and doing a more peaceful and harmonious manner, instead of the agitation that was there was clear and glaring. So they did not achieve anything.
They did not achieve anything.
First of all, economically, the country is still moving forward. There were no businesses shut down today. I don't know. So they had to go and plan. They were surrogates. They were undertone. They were agents of disruption underneath their full protest.
Jamal, we know about protest efforts. So give us your view on this and your insight on the protest.
The thing about it, Sao is on the ground is even struggling to tell us the reason of the protest. So, yeah, you also tell us this is a very disorganized structure. You cannot expect people like Yaka Koluba and Foko, whatever you call him, to go and lead a group who don't know the reason of this protest. You need to do it in a dignified way. We are come a long way where we need to have why you got to do the protest. It has to have an impact. But I'm not expecting the market to be shut down. At least they need to present something. If you have to be a peaceful demonstration or peaceful protest, there must be something done properly. But this is not a situation where somebody just think like he has the right guy on the street to just disturb public peace. They have the right to go and do what they want to do, but it should be done in a dignified manner. That just happened today. I think it was just not properly done, and it should be done properly. We should also understand. We all been struggling since the news broke to see if we can get a reason why the protest is going on, why they want to gain out of the protest. A lot of things happening like that right now. It's what is happening in the House of Legislature. It's how happening with the government itself, the bad governance going on as we speak, or other things. We don't know. So why will people like Yaka Koluba lead the group and many other guys to go and just want? We don't know. They're not even speaking to the press. So those are the situations we want to know. So they need to do it in a proper way. So I don't know why we should be discussing it. We don't know why it's there. So why they're doing it, the benefit, the impact. If I know the reasons, I will tell you the impact it's making. I don't know the reasons why should I speak on the impact anyway. Thank you.
So that leads us to what Saros said. Saros, it's good you're on the ground. And literally, you can feel the good thing that the rescue mission have brought to the country. So from your own experience, being on the ground, after 11 months in office as the rescue government, I learned from a few persons that told me from Unity Party, my good friends of mine, that come January 22nd, there will be running water everywhere and 24/7 electricity. And I was told that all the streets around Monrovia is now fully charged with electricity. You on the ground. Talk to us and talk to our audience how things on the ground, how the people feeling, they enjoying this rescue thing, the rescue mission that came upon us. Liberia was falling, and now Liberia have been rescued, and all of these good things that I'm here encouraging my brother Francis, who always honor the weather, to go home. So while you're on the ground, please encourage my people if things are that better, so we can all start packing our load and leave. Talk to us. What's happening on the ground?
So first, I don't know about the good things that you would say that I got a list for. So
okay,
but you gotta temper your expectation. You know, this government has taken over under a year now. There is still significant hardship among most of the people, which is to be expected because you know the government, when the new government take over, especially the kind of system we run, there have to be a whole lot of realignment. So what you will easily see is that those who are being appointed into positions, ministers, agency heads, their lives will change in fairly short time because they get given cars, you know, they get per diems, they travel. I think here that collectively they are conditional the people for the positive has to evolve. But because of that radical change on the part of the people who are in leadership, it's easy for it to appear that that few people that took over now, you know, the balling and everybody catching hard time. There are also a couple of things that are fumbles that the government has gotten involved with. The issue of the yellow machines. There's the issue of price going up on data. There were argument over incremental rise. Early drop off of Minister of Finance. I mean, less than a few months, the Minister of Finance is out. The Minister of Commerce is also. You can see that they are realigned. My take would be that once the fundamental things are put into play, I'm thinking about between now, at the beginning of the administration, and probably well into a year and a half or so, if they focus on the fundamental things, fundamental rule of law issue, for example, I mean, law and order is a little better. The police has a lot of vehicles now; they're stationed all over the place. So, to some extent, they're addressing law and order issues. They are streamlining the payroll from the CSA side. I know some people taking a burn for it, but I listened to the CSA guy who I've been very impressed about because apart from the work they're doing, they are being very public about what they're doing. They're taking significant number of posts from the payroll, and we are directing funds to where they will be used for value for money. Now, talking about funds, remember this is now we're going. The government is about getting the opportunity to work through its first budget. That's why this FRICA, the legislature, was resounding because this was a budget they should have been trying to pass. Right? They have not completed that yet. They're still working on it. What am I trying to say? That if the expectation is that things were just going to get all right in a few months, then that expectation was unfounded. But things are not terribly retrogressing from where these guys started, where they started from. And there are also some good things. I would talk to that. Now, all the issue of electricity. Again, where I live, somewhere on the highway, well, electricity has been much more consistent than it was in previous years. I don't know because the administration or because LEC is transitioning. The rainy season help them. They have water in the dam. And so let's see what happens during the dry season now to see if they can mitigate it and keep the current. So in my place, I got current at least for 80%, 90% of the time. And that's happening in most places in Namibia. So it's a big plus because you translate that to the economic activities. So people have the opportunity to be able to preserve their food or to store their goods that they're selling so that they come out the next day and all that. So they're lots of the fact that the current is staying on, I hope we can work around it. Mo Ali and the water and sewer, where we are, we don't have pipeline water, so I can't speak to that. But that's also another complex area because the way the government has approached water and sewer over the years, or the water and sewer will have to really perform magic for them to be able to provide municipal water like it is in most cities, because people have gotten used to standing up their own reservoir, digging their own hole in the yard, and all that. And water, because it's not been commercialized over a long time, they will struggle to get people to get used to paying stuff like water bill, right? So I'll say get in time to deal with it. Maybe in the inner cities where the pipes and stuff are still working, maybe the sinkhole area I think they're probably moving water around. But people who live on the Robertsfield Highway or more or less, if you don't have a well in your yard, you don't have a tank that you can pump your water to, well, they're going to be taken by in the pocket. And that is still the case. For something like that, those are fundamental infrastructure that need time to develop. So I can't create them in a short time. But here's what I want to talk about, right? I'm doing a 30-day political economic analysis.
So Sarah,
NGO, yeah.
Sarah, before you get into that, I want Jamal and Francis, while you're on the ground, if they can ask you maybe some question, then you can get into this, if that's
that
okay.
would be fine. But what I was about to say is related to that question, so I will come to it too.
Okay,
go ahead, guys.
Jamal, Francis.
Yeah, then Jamal, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Thanks for coming back after a couple of times, long time to not see. Welcome back as one of the co-hosts on the show. Sarah, a brilliant analysis. I think you are presenting a picture where you stand in the middle. You're not taking side right here. You're on the ground right now. I want you to tell me, I know you come to the area of the House, what's happening in the House of Legislature. I want you to just give me the scorecard for the first 1 year of unity led government. What is the scorecard would be if you have to grade them?
Well, I wouldn't give you a number, but I would say they are doing as good as anybody who in the situation would do under the circumstances. If you the depth of the last administration, right? They did a couple of things, but they did them in a disjointed and incoherent manner. So somebody taking over that will actually spend a lot of time in reconstructing the public service in all the areas that may be. There are some fumbles. I and many other, especially professional people, are concerned about some of the appointments that have been made. They don't speak to people competent enough to run those institutions. But again, where you may, elections have consequences. When people win election on our system, they have the authority to decide who works for them. So we can only wait to see what the outcome of those leaderships will be. Then we can talk about it. But by and large, it's still very, very early for me to. And our situation is not desperate to say that the government is doing so poorly that things are reached the stage where maybe we need to get in the street and get rid of them. So again, I traveled around 3 counties of the last few days to do a private work for an NGO. They asked me to do something called political economic analysis. It's a model that was developed by USAID to be able to, every time, for example, Duna said they spent $200 million in this country on healthcare or economic advancement. And at the end of that 1 year, they ain't see nothing. Nothing impacts the people. So it appears that most time the plans that those monies are implementing originate from the top. It doesn't have the participation of the beneficiaries. So I came from Basel yesterday, and one of the guys the project manager there told me, he said, look, if you go on the highway near Orange Grove, they built a market there a couple of years ago. They use significant amount of the county development fund, but nobody goes to that market. I tell you the tradition of that area, these people don't go to market every day. They buy their stuff and they keep it. So if they were being conferred with, they probably would figure that building a market was not their priority. So the political economic analysis, what it does is that it goes to the shop floor to deal with different demographics. So ask people, how are you feeling government? One of my focus was to go to the service centers that Madam Sirleaf administration set up in the counties as part of the centralization plan. But what I noticed there was that the whole years, when you say the service center, basically, say in Banga, they will put the replica of the Ministry of Transport there so you can get your driver's license. You don't have to come to Monrovia. You can get a vehicle registration, marriage certificates, or just about any kind of service that would normally be done in the capital. They're attempting to move it in those areas. The guys in the 3 counties I went to gave me a whole sequence of things. 2018, things started to roll back because the new administration didn't take care or interest in the decentralization. Mm-hmm. Now, fortunately, this is one of the strong sides of President Barker that I'm observing traveling around the country. Not only are they now trying to strengthen the decentralization, they are operationalizing it. So they have teams in the counties developing. They hire 2 NGOs to help the counties develop something called a county development agenda. So they're dealing with all the stakeholders, disabled people, the chiefs, women groups, and they're all importing into that county development agenda. And it is that county development agenda that will inform the development platform for each county. And in order to enforce that, I wouldn't have known 1 week ago that they set up something called a county council, which is a replica of a legislature in the county, made out of the different demographic groups in the county. That county council of 9 persons has to approve the use of the county's money. Whatever plan to bring that county council has to approve it. It may sound very little, but in view of the fact that most of the development have been central and pushed down on the people, that the administration is making an attempt. These are what I call fundamental things, to begin to have a system that begins development at the shop floor level. I think if this continues, maybe by the end of the next year, we'll be having a different story about how things are unfolding in the country. I know there are challenges with that too, because in the counties, whether they have the requisite human capacity to be able to assume those roles. But I think if the framework is there, it's the beginning of something. That's why I wanted to say when asking whether the country is getting better or not. In my mind, if those fundamental plans are allowed to operationalize for the county to be able to own up to those services to the local people, we should.
Thanks, Sarah.
The people in the central level will not be happy for things to move down to the lower level.
Right. Thank you for that information. I know a friend of mine during the Eddie administration who started that project, one called Bele. Just what you spoke of, and it's good that Unity Party came back to that, and that was something they have put in place before they left office. So it's good that they gone back to it, which should be a good thing for the country, because if you're in Maryland, you don't have to come Monrovia to get driving lesson. All of those things are quite important. So it's good that they're looking at it. Friends, this is the good news of your Unity Party that you brought upon us. You should be having a nice Jack Daniel now over there starting with.
Sarah says something that is very profound, and is what do you call it? We call it anomaly, because what we hearing from Monrovia is that most of the people you talk to is that, oh, the country has no money around. So what he spoke about realignment, where the kind of political system that we have, people come in and whip up the technocrats, those who have trained, who are at middle level position. Everybody see people in like see you shine, you say everybody want a position, even they're not competent, not qualified to have the positions. But what is actually obtained on the ground economically? I mean, there's a scarcity of money, or just that the money is just within a cycle that the people are not sharing, because what we're hearing, the past administration, they were sharing. So, I mean, what's the take? How do you see, I mean, how can you compare? I mean, the money, being given around, spreading around, as compared to this government.
So, Francis, I mean, I don't know I don't know what the anger got been here for in and out all the last administration and now. So what we say for Weah, one of the things that Weah did was that he empowered a lot of the youth who were in the circles. You have a party made mostly of youthful people, and they made it a business to hire as many of them, even when it was not necessary. So you go to the port got about 600 people. By the time they leave in, they got about 1,900 to 2,000. All the artists in Monrovia, including the fat girl, what's her name? I don't know if that fat girl will be a strong warrior in the United States, but I'm trying to describe the
what her name? MC Caro.
MC Caro. So MC Caro, they all were on the payroll at the port as consultants, making $500. So if you have that kind of system, obviously there will be significant income in certain public circles. What has obtained now, the government is trying to roll back that. They're trying to resize the institutions, make sure the people who are working are vetted and they're working. Inside that system are also a sport where an official will send a supplementary payroll that they are funding for 600-700 people, whether they exist or they don't exist, you don't know it. So there were a lot of deal money going around.
Yeah. Even from footballers who start players, they were all on payroll, they're not going to work.
No, they're not going to work at all. So that could speak to money in certain circles. People can, and there are a lot of people sitting there drinking beer on 19th Street and all that thing every day. You can't run the country on that for too long. So when you have a government that have come in, and I'm not a spokesman of the government, but I listen to Josiah at the CSA of what they're doing. They're going back to the payroll. They're streamlining the payroll. I mean, I fascinated today. They are 70-some more thousand people they have hired. A significant number of them who are civil servants are not even high school graduates. There are only 1,000 persons with a bachelor's degree. Okay, I mean, can you imagine the whole government?
And a bachelor degree said they can't even write one good sentence.
Well, at least the people say they have bachelor's degree. You have 1,000 you have 1,000 consultants. Listen to that. You have 1,000 consultants on a Weah. And the consultant now, we're talking about all the people that fall in that look at you for loan and say, oh, my man, go to the central bank. You're made that man consultant. And he draw in $4,000 or $5,000 every month, whether he goes to work or not. Even though you got that institution that have people there, people who do finance and who economics come from universities, they are unemployed. They're sitting there looking for a job because they don't have the hook up. So to be sent over to work as a normal employee. So these guys have cut down the consultants from 1,000 to something like 90. So those things can bite for a while because you got less money in circulation. Because not many people getting those money. And even though, I mean, in my mind, some of the monies that people were getting that were making a lot of money coming around were really illegitimate, and it was leakages in the economic system. So, like I said again, there are things that are happening. And that's not there are a whole lot of things. For example, you hear the LTA approved the increment of the rate on data. I wish you can justify it, but it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Maybe they intended to cash in on more money and whatnot. There's an outcry for it. I hear that one of the reasons for the demonstration. But I think that Liberians, one thing they have, the talk shows, the pressure comes, they should discuss it more and discuss the negative impact of that kind of policy decision. But past that, there are fundamental things that I will see unfold, right? One of the big issues that came out last a month or so before this legislative debacle, the Senate passed a bill to literally reform the National Port Authority, but it was carried as the Senate trying to make each port to be autonomous. Well, the bill is available for public knowledge. If you read the bill, it seemed to me it was a great idea. Because what we have as a port authority, we got one giant man who is the managing director. He makes all the decisions. If he leaves, even his deputies can make any decision behind him. And the port and all its peripheral ports are major economic engines, if they are not managed properly by well trained people with great teams, you're really depriving the country of significant employment, significant source of income, because all the other put dormant, waiting for one guy who's sitting over there and they're collecting rent from APMT, and he and his man are all right with it. Whereas these resources that belong to the people, that has the potential to create significant wealth, is being left dormant. I will share that act with you guys. I hope they pass it in the lower house, and I hope the president approves it. What that act basically does, it creates a port authority, an inland port authority, that will outsource all the ports, all the services in the ports. So if somebody come and say, guess what? I got the funding. I want to set up a fish processing plant in Sesto City, in Riverside. They have the authority to enter into a concession and give that person the right to do that. My own concern is that those opportunities should also be given to Liberians, rather than just saying we're looking for foreign investors. If APM terminal, if the Port of Buchanan right now, the Port Authority is incapable of doing marine services, which is using the tugboat to bring the iron ore ship in and out. So the same company that APM terminal used in Monrovia, ArcelorMittal hired them and they go to Buchanan to do marine services. Guess what? That role is for Liberians. Maybe a Liberian company should be set up to provide the marine services and make those millions too. That's how we create the wealth among ourselves. So that new bill that is still in the works actually was designed to do that if you read it in its entirety. But it also does something. It set criteria for the leadership of the port, that you have to be trained in port management of some MBA level in business. You should have had a master's degree at least 5 years prior to your appointment. I think those are significant, because I mean you can take any Joe and just send him over there to oversee an institution that has the potential to create significant wealth, and they go down there and they're dumb at it.
This program, I mean, I do not support United Party, but what's the smile on my brother Francis face? Don't be surprised to see.
Well, I'm not a United Party. I'm not a United Party man.
He makes my brother.
Paul, you're not doing justice. No. Paul, wait a minute. This is not fair for us here. Look, Sarah just gave a good analysis from what you see in the country. Don't take this on to Francis. I mean, there's some good news coming out right now.
Yeah, man. What a Bonnie Dapo coming to get out the story.
Yeah, no, whatever they say, it's not, if whatever comes good, you and myself feeling good right now. We keep sitting here, we don't have authentic. Come here, I know you're joking. I know you're joking. We are making authentic information we want. Sarah just gave a professional analysis of what's going on in the country. I mean, and this is very good. He also talked about, he also spoke about the other sides that is not doing well. And we also need to pick from money and see, look, what is going on. This is what we want to see. They want to put a structure in place. And this is what they are doing right now. And we see, this is why we live in the West, and this is how West build. They build on the structure and continue for generations. And you talk about generational wealth. How do you start it? How do you create wealth among ourselves? You just be speaking about those things. So if you keep, it's not about Unity Party government. It's about Liberia. I know you're taking a joke on Francis, but let's see if we can keep, like you said, something we need to do. Pick on those things on a talk show and talk about it. Bring people from those areas and see, how do you see it? How the citizen? How will the impact bring on the citizen? And we all can benefit being here in Liberia. We are concerned. This is what all we discuss is about. If we get people like Cyrus and people like who come once in a while and share their thoughts with on the show, it'll be a brilliant. And our followers and our audience will like to hear these things. I mean, I know we want to be critical on the government, and this is our job to make sure they do the right thing. Sarah, I really appreciate your comments today. Your thought you shared is excellent. I mean, it's on top. I mean, we appreciate your information. I can't say anything more than what this is one of the best analysis I've ever had for the start of the year, and the government into power. Thank you very much, Cyrus.
Cyrus, thank you. You know, we've been in the arena for a while now, and Cyrus, you've been with us for a while. Last week, Jamal? Ottoland turned 4 years old. And
And the Cyrus in the background, he hear what I'm saying. Bottle Lantern, 4 years old. And since then, we've been hearing a lot of negative things in Liberia and giving all the picture because this says something that caught my attention, that people were on good salary getting $500 and that have been taken away. So this today protest, I was seeing those people that $500 taken away, they could be so angry not getting that money too. Let me join these thoughts, let's go and protest. So all of these things come to play because if you are having $500 free money and all of a sudden it just gone away, you will get angry because that was your boiling money. So all of this and nothing good you will say about these people that took your $500 away. So this is the fact. So I like what Sarah said. Look, there are other good things that are happening. You got a different view.
Yeah.
You bear away because first they call you, so you get a different view. Look,
from what you
this is
see,
what
I was monitoring, but from what you see,
leave for.
Sorry, I had to step out for a second.
Leave for wait a minute. You come in. I know Francis call you out directly because you've been very confrontational.
Leave for one attack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, attack. Leave is he want to coming back for you. So very ready.
So yeah. So what I was saying in the nutshell, just because 2 years last year, people were in authority having free money, and these guys came and said, "You know what? Enough is enough." So those people will definitely be angry, and this is why we're hearing a lot of bad things, but we're not hearing the other good things that is happening.
What are some of the bad things that you're hearing? I mean, maybe I should benefit from that too. Because I'm here.
I think that's why Lifa going to break up down because he said he's not happy with what he just said. So Lifa, the floor is yours.
No, I don't know from when Sarah speaks, but what I do know is that everything that was said against the Weah government is being repeated and even done in a different way, worse ways. But to put it short, what has changed?
No, don't make it short. Give us some specifics. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll give you specific. Under the Weah administration, we noticed that people were not obeying the law in many aspects, or from many aspects, and we all frown on that. Okay. Then we saw justice being denied people. We saw the citizens were not allowed to exercise their rights freely. Even under Weah, I think it was much better because I remember after the June.
Which citizen is not allowed to exercise their right? Info? Give me a correct example so we can understand the context.
Okay. Under the Constitution, it says in Chapter 1 that it's the right of the people.
All power is hearing the people. Let me help you. Yeah. Now they say, yeah. Let me help you.
Okay. You finished?
Yeah, no, I help you up.
Okay, very good. Is the power inherent in us?
In Norway or in Liberia?
I mean, no. We are talking as Liberians here. We're not talking as...
All the power is inherent.
Yeah. No, it's inherent in us from your own perspective.
Right to assemble, to express their... Okay, go on, Lincoln.
Are we allowed to express our view like we can do here in the women country?
Yes, everybody can free to express their view here. Where is it in cartel?
Okay, in today's action, where citizens have gone through, they didn't even have rock, nothing. They went freely, and then you had well-armed police with electric baton. And I got some horrible pictures. I share in the bottom of the chat room. You see, they beat people and gas them. So, what do you call that? Do you call that expression of free speech, or the right to assemble peacefully?
I don't know what happened today. I don't have the whole picture. All right. I mean, I think people should. Protest.
Okay, but
people should demonstrate, but also there is a requirement to be. You know that I sent my driver to town to to do some work that could take 1.5 hours at most. He spent almost 7 hours. So I don't know whether people were disruptive or they got into confrontation with police.
Nobody was disruptive. We saw the video.
The video is just the video is just anger or somebody showing you what they are recording.
Exactly.
You'll make a judgment on that. So I think it would be good
there are thousands of videos out there right now.
To explain.
Depending on who.
Okay, wait. You saw citizens in that video going armless.
They were beating people.
Walking towards the police, right? And what did the police
have? The video that Paul showed me, I saw citizens very militant. That they picking their soup for LUNT, jumping, singing, who, you move from here and this, that. Guess what?
Yeah,
that place is capital. I'm not trying to justify any brutality, but if you entrust the police to do a piece of job, they're using their judgment to determine what's acceptable and what is beyond the mark. And sometimes they will end up doing where you are. When I was in Sweden, Norway, it was something the police can come with on horseback, big ass horseback, and try to push people away.
Yeah, but
it's not. So I'm not justifying anything that went on over there. I don't know the story, but I think to make insinuations there from 1 or 2 videos you see or conversation with people, I think, and then make a generalization that people can speak freely.
Let's say the Constitution gave us the right. So even if it were one citizen among 20 people that were acting rude, and you go and beat all the other people, even in fact you beat out one citizen, you are taking away his right. It is his right to.
So when you say the Constitution gave the right, how do you understand it to be?
Okay,
I understand it to be that 1,000 persons can come and they can open it and they can move anywhere and they say, "Oh, there's definitely there's nobody going out, nobody coming in."
Oh no, that was not the issue. The people they had a designated area that they were going to the capital, and the people. Why didn't the police give them the opportunity to go to the capital and let's see what will happen? But before they go in together, the police were deployed there. Why? So
they did not enter the Capitol building fence.
But why were the police deployed before even they went there?
Maybe they suspected that they want to be. These same people have been making pronouncements. These same people have been making pronouncements on the radio how they will make the place ungovernable. They will do this. You think the police should act on caution?
So if the police start acting on suspicion that we think people coming to damage the place, so let's go and start. No, let me tell you one thing. Probably it will take us a long time to get to even realize the importance of our own constitution, because if this is built in the mind of the police. I saw another lady in another video who the police have apprehended. In fact, it was a police lady escorting this lady. And all of a sudden, you see the guy and start pushing the woman, punching the woman. Policeman will start punching, whereby another police is escorting this woman. And the woman was not violent. All the woman was saying is, "I'll die for nothing." And the police guy can start punching the woman, pushing the woman. Can you imagine?
But there are remedies for that, though. That's what the courts are for. So you can go and you got a clear picture on that. You can go and find a lawyer easily and sue the police for police brutality. That's what democracy is.
And so, what if that woman had died today? That the dead body will go.
Then her family will go and seek the wrongful death.
But wait, hold on. The policemen are pushing the woman. He didn't even know what the woman did because the woman was arrested for.
So it looked like it was wrong. What happened was wrong. So they need to mitigate it. That's precisely my point.
Yeah, but the police should not be. So we want to agree with me that the police should not be doing that, right?
Right.
No, police is talking about. The Liberia police, what they giving the men, most of the people might not even be properly trained.
Okay, and these are people who will be unleashed on citizens who pay them to go and start brutalizing them.
What would you prefer? They said, what do you prefer? They said demonstration. People say they're coming out to demonstrate in mass. They shouldn't deploy the riot police to create parameters. What would you prefer? They just leave there and just do anything they want to do?
When do you react, Saros? If you and I met, we just standing and talking. When do you react? You will react.
You were not over there. You don't know the circumstances.
Let me just come in. Look,
going at the you said you were not there.
I can show you videos.
Am I in Liberia with you? I'm not in Liberia with you.
I can send some.
I'm not in London with Paul. I'm not in Stockholm with, but we are interacting. So I saw the thing pictorial.
I can send some video that was very calm.
Yeah,
I can say the video. I mean, there were
that's how it's supposed to be.
thousands of journalists there.
Yes.
People who had their own motive of just there to capture. I mean, the bad scenes of the protest.
Oh, they were bad scenes. Now, okay,
what are the good scenes of the protest?
They were bad scenes.
Generally, look, as a former law enforcement officer,
okay, those
things are preemptive measures. Once intelligence come in that look, people have ulterior motive. I mean, you had a riot squad. Well, SODs. SOD, you get caught about SOD as well.
We are on public site. I would have asked you some sensitive security question, but we are on public site because I don't know how do you people get trained at the police academy that you just imagine, oh yeah, they people come and do this thing, then you get ready, you go in
imagination.
Yeah,
everybody, but live for everybody not trained at the police academy. You got to understand the country disposition. So even the police people, some of them have not been even trained on anger management, de-escalation, and all that. When people assemble in such a mass, there's fear. So any small thing can have overreaction. I mean, I've seen Liberia people, civilians, to beat policemen.
Exactly.
Okay,
so they got it.
Yeah, but the question I want you guys to answer, the two of you. I said the Constitution gave us the right to freely assemble peacefully. So when the police imagine that, oh yeah, people coming to assemble.
Come on, man.
That's the fact that we come and assemble. Then the police imagine.
No, waste our time tonight.
I'm not wasting your time.
They say people a peaceful assemble. Okay, listen. You get a horse in Liberia. See the people got it read the peaceful assemble. They go assemble in front of your house. You're not going outside your house today. You do nothing. Even your neighbor, maybe your neighbor asked for $5. You say you get money.
But people did not go to the house.
People got it right. They still out your door.
But Linford, let me come in. There's something in police. I wanted to join the police long time, but I didn't make it. So
then I will be beating people today.
You are lazy.
No, when the time came, that's when I have to leave Liberia. But I could have been a police officer. What happened? What I saw when the police have a barricade, and that barricade, they're telling you not to cross. But when you force your way in, you give the police the ammunition to do what they will do to you. Because you are
which happens anywhere, Paul. It happens anywhere.
Let me ask a question. So who's violating? Who's right here? Wait, listen. Who's violating? Who's right here? The people say we are going to the Capitol building.
Yes.
Police, the people are not going to the Capitol.
Tomorrow.
Wait, hold on. The people are not going to the Capitol building. You have not seen them vandalizing. You have not seen them doing anything. But when you build barricade before them, so you violating that right. That right is to go there.
Listen.
Linford, what you say, but what happened?
Paul,
the police.
If you just come in, listen. Your language, your body language, the way you carry yourself in the protest. If you guys are marching, just come in without any, you call it, militancy, kind of. Then you will say something. But if you come with that kind of aggression, all the way is your body, your language, you don't. When you move towards the police officer. I mean, the police officer will take take these preventive measure. Precaution.
Okay, so let's come back. Paul will come here, but let's come back to our original discussion first. That the police acted on suspicion, like Sarah said, on imagination, like you are saying. And
no, I told intelligence.
Intelligence is all about imagination. Somebody said and say. They will see that play Mahana Serifa.
Look at it, man.
Linford, I asked a question here early, and my question was, what was the purpose of this protest, and what did they gain from the protest?
Did they present a petition or something?
You gain some. That's the question I asked, because what I saw, you go to petition the government. The police is the government. The police say, stand here. Listen to what I'm going to say.
Nowhere on earth, even the mother of democracy, Nobody will ever present petition to police. Police
Listen,
have
the
no
police
authority.
is, listen now, let me finish my thought. The police, where their work there is, they block you. Whoever supposed to receive that petition will come. The police say we stop here. That means stop there. You can do your shouting. They don't mind. Just stop what they give you instructions. Stop here. So that is a direct order from the police that they should stop there. Now, if you breach that barricade, then it means you have broken the police law. They will apprehend you the way they want to apprehend you.
Did you see one video? Did you see one video where Gregory Kuma was talking to a journalist right on the scene at the scene Capitol building?
I didn't see any video, but what I showed today,
yeah, but wait, okay, I saw it.
That's what I'm
live.
talking about.
Yeah, but I'm coming now. I saw it live. The journalist asked him, prior to this demonstration or protest, did you receive any information from the protester or the organizer that they were going to the Capitol building, they were going to a specific area? He said yes. So why did the police block the people from going to the Capitol building? The people didn't say they were going. They said they were going. So if the law gives me the right to assemble, and I said I'm going to assemble to this place, then you go way in front of me and block me. So you what?
On Linfa, let me tell you something. Let me get in there. I come to. I tell you, Linfa, I call you. I come to. I said, Linfa, I come to your house tomorrow. You say, oh yeah, first you welcome. I discussed with Sarah. I said, I go to meet her. I was sponsoring her, or maybe I'll be $1 or do something. Sarah go and tell you. I come into your house, you stand right to the door. I was, well, I can't enter. He said, no, I can't allow you to enter. So that's a scenario.
Okay.
No, so, intelligence in the security arena plays a lot, my friend.
Yeah, you are saying that if you say coming to my house, then you go tell Sarah that when you come to my house, you sponsor something, right?
Yeah, I'll be $1, hey you.
Okay, the protester did not tell.
Francis said something on Linfa. Francis said something on the program. He said today the president also went to the Capitol building.
Exactly.
So you have all the legislature, the president, everybody in the Capitol building. So the police told the world, say, look, although you coming to protest to petition the government, we beg you stop right here. That's common sense. If they refuse to present a petition, the protesters have all the right to make other people left miserable in the town because of the government refusing to take their petition. The fact is that they broke through the barriers. They gave that opportunity to the police for something else.
Did they have a petition?
I don't know. That's why I asked the question.
No, they had a petition because nobody they started shooting out tear gas and live bullets. So how they?
I mean, no, you have representative. You have Yege Koruba. You had Tiafoko. You have petition. Why you can't get a fellow lawmaker and he came to the people?
Did you know that they were leading? Fogo? Do you know that Fogo was standing talking to people and the guy went and tear gas and fired the tear gas right among the crowd?
I mean, if the police there were the excesses, then people should identify it and address it. But therefore, you got to realize also that the police is responsible for law and order. That even people who are protesting, there are other people also. There are other people in the open space. There are people who are driving their cars. Are you going to be knocking people's car? Do you look like you a disrupt?
Nobody knocked anybody's car. The protesters were coming with their hands up. Yeah, I saw Safogo and all the guys with their hands up. They protest. If anybody broke law, it was the police.
Everybody in the protest had their hands up.
Most of them.
So what do you think? What the guys who had their hands down? What the hell with them in their hands?
Is there any way in the Constitution that tell you that when you go and protest, you put your hand up?
No, but is there any guarantee the Constitution that tell you if you put your hand up, you can protest too? No.
So putting your hand up,
let that vote on this thing.
It's a balancing act. The very Constitution gave the authority to the police to enforce law and order.
I agree.
And not enforcing law and order may not be necessarily because they see you doing it wrong. Maybe they suspect that the situation
you do operate on suspicion.
So they act to prevent it.
You do
operate. You see, look, in the United States, for example, police come to somebody's car and ask him for his driver's license. and he trying to bend to get his driver's license. The way he bend, the police got suspicious. He shoots him and say, "Oh shit! I thought you were trying to."
It's all about the fear that the police have because of what they do. You know,
And it's
if I was a policeman, I can't tell you. I say, nobody will get go and shoot me as well, driver license. No, but because what the police does. Okay,
Linford,
when you see hundreds, when you see, I've been in demonstration, I've been in riots before. When you see hundreds,
I want Linford, this is in England. This thing I'm going to show you, they are protesters that people were fighting. They decided to protest the British government to help stop the fight in Gaza. And watch what's going to happen here. I just want it's just a short clip, then we can, before Francis leave, just watch this, that what I'm going to show. And I will get, if you see the police, the way they line up here, there are a group of protesters, peaceful protesters marching towards the police. Watch what's going to happen in this video, and then we can draw our conclusion from your argument. Right. Linford, you see what happened here? The police had a barricade that the protesters, you should stop here. They decided to break through. So in this case, you see the police pushing them back. The incident that happened today in Liberia, there were less than 10 police officers that were standing. And this guy, they came with a military attitude and bulldozed them, right? So I just gave you an example while we're alluding to say, look.
Okay, on your own example, own example that we still have on the screen here, how many people you see? How many people you see wounded there? How many times you see police beating people? The police were pushing and they were pushing, they were stopping them. But in like right away, they start shooting fire, they start shooting tear gas.
No, listen now, Linford, this is a classic one. These police that you see here, they don't have weapons, they don't have battle, they don't have nothing. Okay. But on the other side, if you break through the barrier, then you meet the guy that sitting on the horse that have all of these things to beat you away. So that barrier in police.
All I want to agree. Okay, professionally, you see what the police did? The police say, "Your stop." They start pushing each other.
But the people broke through the police barrier. The first defense line, they broke it. You saw the video.
What the first defense line?
You heard the journalist saying that, look, the police cannot continue, and they broke through the barrier. So the police, the second group.
There was no second batch of police. There was a group of police.
I can play the thing for you, Linford.
Anyway.
I mean, so that transition to something else.
Yeah,
man.
That's what I'm saying. The police situation on Friday, we're going to have a police constable here on this program as our guest. He's coming from California. He served in the police force there. He's a Liberian. He also wanted Liberia to train the police. So we'll be hearing from him on Friday. on this show. So all your questions, whatever happened, he will narrow it down. And good friend says only for he's an ex-police officer, so they can give all that idea, what behind this police tactic. But in my mind, I saw less than 10 police officers at that first barrier, and those guys bulldozed it. And when they went, they met the other group that had no choice, but I have to defend myself first and before I protect you. That's what the police did today. So we should not drag this into. And another thing that Sarah said, which I alluded to, that people that were on gold salary were getting 500, they're not getting anymore. They were part of that crowd. They're angry. And they went onto the street to express their anger.
This was about Liberians. It was not about a specific group of people. It could be, even if our Liberians were being a protest, it was about Liberians. So what does matter $1 million and what
the purpose of this protest? That was my question. What was the purpose of the protest, and what did they gain from the protest?
The purpose was for the voters, the electors, to go to their lawmakers and tell them to find ways to find solution to this impasse. How does
impasse? But for there no impasse. The legislature, the lower house passing laws, they're having budget hearings and all that. What impasse are you talking about?
Sorry, guys, we have a caller on it now.
The legislature is operating.
Yeah, the reason why,
guys, we have a
Sarah was supposed to count it.
We have a caller who wants to contribute on this. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
This is me, Pro.
Okay.
The Riverside Pro, yeah, you know your man. So, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sure. Yeah, thank you very much for this show. You know, good platform. And I always appreciate how you guys start with the international events and to impress us with what's going on around the world. And that's very important, you know. I mean, we're talking about globalization. Everything that affects Europe affects us, affects China or Asia, it affects us. But I got two questions. I got a question for you guys because I have seen a lot of Liberians who during the June 6th Capitol riot in the United States. There were Liberian people who I know they said, well, you know, it was right. It was right, you know, for people to go there because, you know, the Nancy policy, the Democrats and think Trump was cheated, and they went there. So now I'm looking at this Capitol incident where these same Liberians are saying now, well, it was wrong for the people to go and hit barricades and try to rush into the Capitol building. That's something that they can't do here in America. So my question is, do you guys see the parallel there? Is that because I'm trying to, because I went after them and said, but well, you were the same person who said when Trump group stormed the Capitol building because you felt that Trump was cheated and they were in the right, and you know, to go and spray paint Nancy policy office and thing. But now the same thing happening in Liberia, you the same person that's saying now it was wrong. They shouldn't have done that. So my question to you guys, the panelists, do you see a parallel there, or am I just being indifferent to that? I mean, I just want you guys to see if there's a parallel, if there is some try to use the right word, inconsistency when it comes to how Liberian people view the incident on June 6th as compared to the one in Liberia. That's my first question. And the second one has to do with the same protest. There are also people who, you know, Kalasco and other guys, you know, they were arrested, and people like, oh well, they seen people, you can't jump behind these guys. They are the same rogues from last time. And I said, look, some of us participated in the Black Lives Matter protest. Who told you all those Black Lives Matter people were all clean hands? We had felons among us. We had all kinds of groups. But the key issue there was justice. I didn't care whether the next man that was holding the banner by me just came from jail or was corrupt or something. That the issue, we were fighting for justice, we were fighting for racial injustice, we were fighting for social status in life, equality. So it didn't, you know, I wasn't looking to say, oh, because y'all got one road in the protest over there, so we're gonna illegitimize it. I don't see it like that. So that's how a lot of Liberians out there are saying the protest out there is not concrete because you got CDC elements and you know, people who did a lot of things during the old regime. So I have a different view of it. So I think the process is democratic. We cannot keep trying to honor my protest. Protest is democratic. Yes, I'm somebody who is against violence. But when it comes to a protest, that's something we all enjoy. I know most of you guys are in Europe. There's something, maybe you don't have protests frequently like we have in Africa or the United States. But that's part of democracy. Those things, they are there for it to happen. So the fact that we try to justify something in Liberia, I feel that we're trying to suppress protesters, saying that, oh, you can't do this because that, like, finally, and this one guy was saying, well, the protest is being politicized. And I'm like, when are you going to have a protest in Liberia? Every protest in Liberia, most of the time, we don't protest on climate change in Liberia. We don't protest on gay rights in Liberia. So obviously, the protests that take place in Liberia, it got to have some political connotation. So that's just my view on the issue. I think the process, there was police brutality to some extent. It's so unfortunate that tear gas is still being used in 21st century Liberia. I don't know, maybe it happened in other parts of the world, but I definitely, I haven't seen it a lot. But yeah, that's just my concern about issue relating to Liberia. Thank you guys for having me. I will be on the line. I will be following the show as usual.
Okay, we'll respond to you while you're on the show. We all said pro. Okay. Yeah, thank you for calling. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Saros, before you guys come in, Robert Sepro made a point here, and that's what I referred to earlier. What were the purpose of this protest? Because if I take upon myself to leave my house to go protest, it must be a reason, and I should be satisfied that reason. If I don't get it, I'll go by the next day until there's solution to that, to my purpose or protesting. This guy went to protest. On what ground? Was it for rule of law? Was it for data? Was it for they're not getting salary on time or something? There must be a cause or something that have injured them so badly, their children are in school, something. Then you go and address your situation to the government. But if you just went to satisfy one group of people, then what the objective of this protest? So Rosa Pro is asking a question. Saros, I will talk to you. Answer Rosa Pro if you can, then leave for.
No, but that wasn't Rosa Pro question though. Why would he just say?
It's my thought. You heard his question.
Oh.
Me?
Yeah.
So Paul, what about the reason for first thing the assembly of the people to petition the government is constitutional. It's a constitutional right. Remember what it says? It said that the people will have the right to petition the government.
Yeah.
But my thing is that that shouldn't be curtailed at all. But at the same time, there is a responsibility for law and order. That's why during mass assembly of citizens, the people responsible for law and order also make themselves available to ensure that these assemblies are peaceful. There are cases where they're peaceful. There are some cases where people make determination that it's disruptive and it end up into fracas. My thing is, if the police and Linford was saying grab somebody, you're carrying another policeman beating on that person, especially where it's documented, there are legal remedies for that. Mm-hmm. The police shouldn't be doing that. But if you're suggesting that, okay, 3,000, 4,000 people should just march in on the legislature and be free to go from one office to another, people got coming with high emotions here and there. I was saying earlier that I've been in demonstration and riots before. And riots and demonstration and protests have the energy to turn violent without you expecting it to turn violent. I mean, in 1986, we demonstrated in Cotton when Corin went during the midterm, and the faculty were having a party at the guest house for some Fulbright professors who were returning. So the war went around and said, oh, but we get Corin to study. The people were there and the polling on Corin. So hundreds of students went there to make their voices felt that, look, the priority is for us to get current to steady. But just assembling around a guest house, one thing turn to another. Before you know, some people say, let's turn the car over. Wow, they turn one car over, two car over. The whole thing changed to a whole lot of stuff. So when people assemble, the group does not have a logic. So you have to have people there to be able to control the voters. I mean, the other thing is we keep on asking about petition. If the intention was to present a petition, did they have one? Who was presenting it? So even when they were blocking them, that where the conversation should have been held. So we're trying to present a petition to our leaders, and you guys are blocking us. How do we present the petition? Exactly. I didn't see what happened, but the fact that today we're not even talking about a petition, because that petition itself, if the people who were leading the protest were reasonable, all that thing would be in the cyberspace. We'll be reading that petition on the internet. Now, this is what we carry to present to these people. But even prior to the protest, if you were in Liberia, people have been on the radio and they've been making threats to create. In fact, one of the words I heard some of the guys using, where they will make the place ungovernable, right? So if people are saying they will make the place ungovernable, and they are the leaders of people who are assembling, the police and the authorities have to act with in caution. What would you prefer, that few people's rights are protected while they undermine the right of the larger other people who are not participating in their protests? So if they were manhandled, then we got courts. Agouti in Liberia, you can take your case to the court, or you can go on the radio tomorrow and give clear evidence and sway public opinion on what the police did. And there will be an expectation that people should be held accountable.
So how do you compare this to the U.S. one that the June, I think it was January 22nd or something in the U.S. when Donald Trump refused that he was not defeated and go took onto the Capitol? How do you compare this with what happened today? Is there any comparison in between? That was one of Rebels pro. How do you compare
First thing,
that?
Paul, what happened in the United States was they were clear of violation of the law.
Okay.
People entered the Capitol with violent intentions, breaking glass and window and all that. There's no excuse for that. I don't know, according to Linford, the people today who are demonstrating, they did not reach to that level. He's saying that they were peacefully demonstrating.
Thank you, Sarah, for condemning what happened at the U.S. Capitol. But did you hear Rosas Pro's question? I think Paul did not ask the question. Rosas is asking whether, because some Liberians were supporting Donald Trump's group for going to the Capitol, they said it was good. But at the same time, some Liberians today are saying that this other group, that their own Liberian people who are going to their own capital, it was wrong. So he's asking, do you see the contradiction? How do you harmonize that? I think that's a question.
Going to the U.S. Capitol, what happened going to the U.S. Capitol in June and they hunting for the representative was a violation of the law. Today, people say they were going to petition. There is discrepancy here that nobody knows. You say that they were attacked by the police or they were peaceful protesters. I don't know. But if the scenario was the same where they bamboozled their way in the Capitol and they said they must go in there and the police were stopping them, they too were violating the law. Because as much as the citizens have constitutional right to assemble, that assembly has to be controlled if there is a threat to the rule of law. That's what the police are for, or else it will be a jungle country. Anybody can come and disturb anywhere they want to disturb. And this is not to say that they did that, because I don't know exactly what happened over there. But even to the extent that traffic was a major nightmare all over the economy, you have people crossing the road, blocking cars, there's no order. See here in Monrovia, when people are having small protests or march, ordinary civilians, some dressed in black or militant looking, some they're on the road. They tell you, move your car from the road. These are people that don't have any authority at all. But they are exercising one on their fellow citizens because they have something that they want to do, and they're infringing on the public safety. So I can't say too much about it. I don't know the details before.
I think Rosa's question, Rosa Pro asked the question to all of us. So my input is that Rosa says, we have this tradition and culture in Liberia that if it is in my favor, it's right. And if it is in the next man's favor, it's wrong for me. I listen to seditionists. They come and start condemning the Unity Party government. And these are people who were just there yesterday. Their footprints are still on the ground. Their fingerprints all on the wall. But they're condemning UP today. And on the reverse side, the UP people who are condemning CDC just 6 years ago, they are doing even worse. Joe Boakai is on record. All the Unity Party people, they are on record saying that it was wrong for Joshua to fly private jet. But what is Joe Boakai flying today? Even if you have a drone that you could fit in, or space shuttle that you could rent, you ride, you fly to go. No. So when it's on, so it comes to that Donald Trump attack, and they all our own Liberian thing. See, so those Liberians are supporting Donald Trump's attack because they feel proud they like Donald Trump's rule, or they like his people. So it was good for them. But then when it happened on the other side, with their own people involved, it's not in their favor. They say, "Oh no, it was wrong." So this culture that we have, that when it is in my favor, yeah, it's good. When tell her about new clothes, when I wear, oh yeah, it's good for me. But when Paul wear, I say, what Paul wearing that kind of clothes for? It's not good. It's not so wearing. So that's it. And it's all about deception. It's all about self-interest and nothing else. And you guys Sarah, you keep talking about petition. The people, they broadcast several radio stations. They had a thing going on, interviews that we are going to the Capitol to tell our people, to pressure them to find solutions. So petition, okay, the people are going to present a petition, and they told you we're going to the Capitol. Then you go set barricade 1 mile ahead of the Capitol. So who were there? That police will give it to? The police brutalized.
They are Riverside Pro.
Police should be intelligent and say, no, listen, who is your head? Who got a petition? You're bringing, will receive it and carry it. But they prevented everything. They didn't want them to even, they started beating them. So they might have torn a petition in the process.
I say Riverside Pro has a question: should every protest have a petition? Not necessarily, because some protests people just want to show their displeasure over some, so they could have a placard. But all protests should be peaceful. Protesters do not have the right to infringe on the rights of others who are not protesters or vandalize public property. So that's what police are there for, and the police may use their discretion that it appears as though these lines are being crossed.
But I will tell you one thing. Paul, you're the moderator. Relax. You're the moderator.
No, but we've been here over the 2 hour mark now. So we're getting to,
we had a show at 3 hours and 20 minutes before. Let me tell you one thing. I will tell you something. No, in protests like this, it's always a police, because that fear factor they get, that the people coming. Okay, so they are always the aggressor. The people coming, get them, you get everything, you get gone. Get the people a chance, let them go to where they're going. And assemble. The people say they're going to assemble. And they were walking coming, you saw them walking coming. Even if somebody was flying, you saw them flying coming. They say we are going. They say they're going to the ground. You go set barricade. Leave the people, let them go to the place, so you can surround that building. The people now, you can have oil, you can carry everything, your water thing, surround the building. But the people say we're going to the Capitol building ground. Wait, you go start them 1 mile ahead. Okay? So you confronted them. You see, but again, it's all based on this thing about security, and it comes back to, listen, I was finishing, I'm done now. It comes back to the thing we started with the ECOWAS and the 3 countries. The ECOWAS leader, the inactly, they want to be protected. So nobody should have military coup. Whether they misrule in the country, everybody should say, yeah. When somebody get out there and say, no, listen, we got to change this group, and they take over, then the rest of them say, oh no, why you take over for? The same thing. This is how it can start. It start on a small level like the police. The people say they're going to the Capitol ground. Wait for them, let them go. But you go set up roadblock, wave 2 miles, and you start flocking them. You black it. What are you blocking them for? Get them here, let them go. The Constitution says they have the right to do it. They were not infringing on anybody. Where they came from, when they were coming, there was no smoke behind it to say the burning horses coming. No. They were walking, coming, chanting, and going in hard gear. Simple. Go and protect the building. Say you're protecting the building. Go and protect the building and let the people come and assemble. Show them a place to assemble. But they didn't reach. You attack them and start pushing them back. The same way when Kuti played in West Africa, they say, no, why you make coup for? You see, and then when we frown all the people, you know, that they carry on bad leadership, it starts right there. It starts right there. And the last thing I'll say now, close off for the show tonight, is that the same people who the police beating or who the government getting order to go beat, I was seeing people who are walking in the ring behind them. Oh, we want this, we want that. But the Liberian people, you can't think. And this is caveat. And I will start sending it to my own family and other people. This is people behind. That the same people now, you return to the truck that built the mansion. You're holding all you're walking in the people water. We saw you. Okay, time now for you to go get a petition. They say no, you're not going. You're going to point down the thing. You're going to do violent this and that. They start beating you. But when they're holding you in truck to go vote, nobody knew that you were violent. Thank you very much. You're learning.
Thank you, Linford. And I also want to say welcome to Dean S. Court. For your first time following, or can you click on our page? Good to have you on the Borderland discussion. Linford, before Saros close us and take us home, if I decide to protest in Liberia, that protest I will have a result. You protest to get a result. You don't protest that they beat you up, you go home, and then you crying why you went for a protest.
No, but they'll come back. The people will come back.
Listen, let me end my thought. If you feel this infringement of your human right in the country and you go out to protest peacefully, the police beat you up. That beating me up in that protest, that means I will make that particular city I'm in, I'll make that city unbearable for the police. Why am I saying this? You went to protest for a purpose. You got a handful of people that the policemen just used tear gas, they all ran away. So what you do? Say you tear gas on me, I'm moving on the old road, no car will pass on the old road, then you mean business. In 2010 in the UK here, I'll tell you a story that young people, what they did to the police here, it went down, today is in history. Every time they saw some black child, the police would stop them, call it stop and search. They did it for years. So this time around, a young black boy, they took him, they said this boy, he's a drugs dealer. What they did, the police shot him in his car. Black kids got really angry. And that's when we're using BlackBerry. What they did, they organized a protest in the UK here that the police could not track them down. So the group of them said, we're meeting in central London. When the group gathered, the police car, they said, we're in Manchester. The whole country went upside down until today they passed a law. The police don't see black kids anymore and stop them. So my question was, what the purpose of this protest? What they gain from it? Because if you go for a protest, you must have a solution to that protest. So in this case, this guy go home, they bruised now, they didn't get solution to the protest. So what the purpose of this protest? So that's what I want to know. Yes.
Okay, I said I'll close, but let me get.
You're not close.
Yeah, 2 seconds. You know, we live in a sophisticated world, and during the wartime, I was opportune to live across the war line. So I learned something from the guys that were fighting war. So on one war called regroup or retreat. When you retreat, then you strategize. So there is no dead hero. Okay, they're shooting you, then going there. If you go to fight war and you hear bullet sound, you stop. You don't just continue walking. You stop to know where you're coming from. So the people were attacked today. Now they're going back to strategize. Now the police in Liberia, they're not more than all the citizens. Suppose all the citizens say, okay, we're regrouping Oro, we're regrouping Cinco, Kakata, or what? You yourself talking. There were less than 10 policemen. When some of these things happen, we just got to talk it through. The police people, just the people in Montreal, they can overwhelm the police that we got the 5,000 police officers. Yeah? And some police officers, their family, they will go there. So, if you pressure, what I think they're doing, if you pressure the police for true, you pressure that and the violence they're looking for. I'm not putting and saying, encouraging the violence, but a real violence comes to order where everywhere, the entire city, that old white people they have, that when it depending on, the police.
What kind of scenario Liver, what kind of scenario are you trying to create? Why is
No.
it the whole city? Why is the whole city were now out there protesting? Because they wherever
No, I'm
issues,
just okay.
they
I'm
are manageable.
just giving out the kind of scenario where
Okay,
if
Liver,
the citizens are really
here
ready.
we go. Fede said, Paul, you are wrong. The protest was a success. You see it? It showed that the real intent of the police on how they will manage the protest. That is the main message.
Yeah.
That's what it is saying
So
here. So
the police cannot manage protest. They will only move on the people to start beating them. But Sarah, look at it. The police not even mobile. They are understaffed. So a real violence, the country where the people know about violence, Liberian people are not violent. We are good people. And I must admit, you have these simple things happening. And one guy hungry, go take collar and go chop somebody to take something. But remember, this country fought war for 14 years. You think it's a real violent country? Look, let me tell you, we gotta be thankful. But then people taking advantage of the people when small thing happen, they say, "Oh no, we'll forward." Who told you say because they pro forward, they can't go back to war again? The people can go back to war. They only looking for somebody to start. You see it?
no,
Liver, you keep on creating this.
Sarah,
let me say that you keep on creating this. Look, if the country is so in a desperate situation, then you're going to see it in the number of people who are coming out to protest.
That's what I'm telling you. Look, the people are peaceful. They are peaceful, but the government takes advantage of their peaceful nature. But let me tell you, it will reach a point where those of us that study small physics, you know that thing, effervescence, right? Shake a Coca-Cola for long and just open it. You will see what will happen. Everything will go at one time. Okay? And some people got that kind of nature. Liberians are like that. For 160 some more years, the one party rule in Liberia. When the people got ready, what happened? Whoever knew that somebody would take on Paul, you myself living in the papa. The first time we saw violence, April 14, 1979. Okay? Then who knew that it will be followed by April 12th, and then who knew that war will come? Like people, nothing but when you push the people to the war for long, they will come back. And that nonsense they can be talking, oh, therefore war can the law. The people know war now, so they know they didn't get more idea about war. So you people who in the leadership and you continue to take advantage of the people, therefore war now. Who told you? No, it was time like bro, it will even be faster. Because right now people are communicating, they get cell phone everywhere. Somebody can sit that way and say, my man, yeah, we just don't want it. Like, do not want war. That's why we are like that. But do not exploit the people peaceful nature and try to suppress them.
The people in Liberia are very happy with the situation that they're in.
Yeah.
If people not happy,
I agree with you on that one.
If people not happy, they know exactly what to do. The people are happy. So the handful of people who went out there today, that people who feel injury to the situation, but the rest of the people are very happy until that time come. Look, that he just said it. They put the joint security together. The total number didn't even reach 7,000. The military, all of them, they didn't even reach that amount. So if you want, that's why I say if I protest in Liberia, just 2 days, the government will run away. Let me give free advice to the protester in Liberia. Y'all know the people get only one water tank. So avoid gathering in your own community. If you block roads everywhere, police can come and bother you. You make your point. If you do it 1 or 2 times, then they'll do the right thing. Stop going on the street. They will stop.
Yeah, the last recommendation I'll give the people who want to protest in Liberia is
that close they should.
Yeah, if you work in the government, just stay home. Let everybody stay home. They're not paying you all
today.
Yes, everybody, all the civil servants, you're still home. You're staying home.
If you stay in your community, look, if I'm on the old road, no car coming from Pinsway to go to town. If you in Douala, no car coming, you block the whole city.
No, Paul, don't even do that. They can't help. Paul, don't do that. They'll help you for nothing. You're just passing your text.
In my community.
Yeah, no way. Use your cell phone. Text the people. Say, my man, don't go to work tomorrow. Everybody say, okay, we're not going to work the whole week.
That's another
week. Go to work.
When we're growing up under the door era, they had a thing called REA. You can tell REA, get a Zogo, go and spread, get a message, go all in the market, nobody can up. They post 2 days, do that to the government come and say, they put in like bread. When they're ready, they will do it. They're not ready.
The policeman said, "We're going to market no food there." He didn't put him on
Saros, it was good having you here today. It's been a while. Yeah, I know it's the first season now. It's a compliment of the season. You in Liberia, you join the best palm butter toboggy, and we here in the cold weather, Linford on the other side. When he open his door, snow everywhere. He want to come to Liberia. He's so frustrated. The police. He trying to come home, but how will he come home when the police are beating protesters, all the ones scaring Linford? So, Saros, talk to us before you go, my brother.
But Linford, you can protest over there. You can print your paper.
When I say any government official, you want a ruling party here. I will protest.
Everybody got their own disposition here in Liberia, right? From my vantage point, and I don't speak for the government, I don't work for the government. You know, my interest is the country. That's why I'm here. But I don't think beyond some of the direct issues that are fixable, for example, the hiking of the price on data. People have voice, and the LTA is at least making the impression that they're trying to address it. And people should talk about it more. They're more to it than that. For example, the cell phone companies come out and 4 days you don't have internet, or you are prepaying for the internet service. They're giving you a time bundle, so you pay for 1 week. You got a certain number of gigs. 4 days they don't have internet. When the days pass, they cut you off. We're all restituting the 4 days that they never had internet for you. Those kinds of stuff, the LTA, that is a regulator, need to clamp down on it, because those are unjust enrichment. So because if you got 300,000 customers, you take $5 from each person, that millions of dollars you just made. So they need to press for the quality of service to change. And that doesn't necessarily mean people should get in the streets. People are making their voices heard. They're asking for the president to fire the LTA boss here and there. So the LTA people are getting in the room on the drawing board and trying to figure things out, because it's not going unnoticed. There was a situation where the rice importers wanted to increase the price of rice. Pressure came on the Ministry of Commerce and the actor on it. Most of this pressure coming in the newspaper or on the radio. What's up, Tini, at the legislature? I didn't come in the other day for to talk about it, because I have a view on it. The most important thing in the country is the people. What is the fight about Funanti being removed as a speaker that people are running with? First thing, Funanti is not a speaker. He's not a speaker of the Republic of Liberia. He is the speaker of the House of Representatives, elected by his peers. The House of Representatives runs on majority rule. Okay, they said the law said that before you remove the speaker, you need to get 2/3, which is 49 votes. If you can't get 2/3, 49 votes, remember that place that politics place. If you can't get 2/3, 49 votes, and you don't want a speaker, 43 presidents don't want him. What they basically did, they make sure that he become dysfunctional, because for he himself to do his job, he needs 37 people to be in the room,
and he can't get
it. They make sure you can't get 37 people. How long will wait? How many months will wait for you to get 37 people? If you can't get a quorum, he is dysfunctional. That 49 vote business, he himself, in the cause of the people, should step aside.
No,
listen to what I said.
Sarah was supposed to come on the program on Friday, but I was
thinking
he did not.
What are you doing Friday? Sarah, what are you doing Friday?
No, I
don't know yet. I got a little busy with a couple of things. I could figure that out. Maybe join you guys. But Friday again being what it is, Friday.
Yeah. So
our Friday from.
So let me know. Yeah, Paul, just send me the link. Tell me what we're going to be talking about. I will come and bring some people to have this conversation, because same thing will happen in ECOWAS, right?
Yes.
You say, okay, the people have coup d'etat, and you suspend them to the extent that now you are losing them. They say, okay, we won't be part of that stuff. Is that what you really want to achieve? So in the house, if we get Funanti at all, no house section should be held.
But there is no bypass to the law. You see,
no, the law will not bypass. The law will not bypass.
Let's close it. So let's
The
close
people
it.
assemble in the other room and they raise a petition for 50 votes and they got rid of the man. Is that a violation of the law?
You my friend, the three of us we are friends. So if I get two of you, I'm going to say that I want to do my own show without giving you a due process.
No, that politics over there. That politics. All 73 people over there are representing the country.
Okay.
So your majority don't want you, and they say we're not coming under your gabba, and you can't get quorum. And then they go in the next room and they got quorum. Maybe you should go in that room where the quorum at.
Okay, we'll come back.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, but good hanging out with you guys, man. I will try my best. Send me the link. On Friday, I will join in so we can talk.
Okay, all right. Good having you. So it was great having you, man. A while now, and we were bouncing back slowly. And 4 years, Lean 4 years, we'll enter around the 5th year now. So it's good to have you. We're not going to go anywhere. We'll be in Europe. We're trying to increase more, and we're getting there slowly. But the number we have, the organic number. So we stuck with it, and we get our followers always with us. So it's good having you.
Keep the discourse going. It's a good thing, my man. It's a good service you guys are running to the public.
Okay. Thank you, my brother.
So you guys have a good night out there. I'll catch up with you.
Okay. See you soon. Yeah. So Linford, it was a good discussion, and then we'll take on Friday. We'll have a guest, a young man. He's a law enforcer. He's in California. He'll be joining us. The flyer will go up by tomorrow. He'll be joining us on Friday, so we can ask our viewers to ask him questions about.
It's good that this thing happened with the police, and that guy will be joining us. So
we can understand what can be in the minds of the police when they face a situation like this. So we'll have that. So on that note, brother, what's your parting comment? How you see tonight's program?
Oh, well, I just want to thank our new viewers that joined today. I saw one Don Esco. I think that's the first time I see him here, and also a couple of people. Most of them appear on my board, but I can't see the names. But if you just join us for the first time today, we want to say thank you. This is what we do here. Our platform is still growing. When you get 5 children, if you have 5 children in a family, everybody can grow at the same speed. Some people can grow big, and then some people take time to grow. And the sensible people who can take time to grow, the men who can grow fast, they could get old. They can get plenty of sense. Yeah. We tell people we are still on growing, and then we get plenty of sense. So our platform is growing, and we just turned 4. We are entering our 5th year now. This I think few days now. So we're happy, and we've been upholding it. Sometimes it's not easy, but we got to do it because we all are working people. It takes time. Sometimes you come from work, you're tired, and some all got family. It's not easy, but we just got to hang in there. So I want to thank our panelists that are not here today, and for holding the ground, and our viewers who stick with us all the time. They are sticking with us all the time. They don't get tired. We want to say thank you. Without you, we cannot be here. And on the reverse side, without us also, you will not be here because you will not get said that you're looking at a screen. So we are all working together. Thank you for being with us, and we really take you seriously, and we love you. Let me just say we love you.
Thanks, Linford, and thanks to our viewer. We're back here on Friday. We'll have a guest. We'll share the information. So thanks for being with us tonight. And we want to leave you with it. Have a pleasant, good evening wherever you are. So because when it's violence somewhere, we tend to play a music to calm you down so you can get your heart out of Liberia. So this young Liberian musician, very clever young man, they call King Daniels. He made a music, Eat Your Show. This music just been trending all around the internet. Very beautiful song. So we want to leave you with this song and say, have a pleasant good night.
R.I.A. DJ Summer
Ain't back and stand, let me enjoy myself. We now in competition while you getting there. Simple love will live in see and getting there. I'm tired helping people, let me help myself. I won't wait for one money and see myself in great. And people be enjoying all the money that I made. So I don't put myself first. And I know about you, I put myself first. Life is too short, so let me enjoy myself. The place you're looking at, let me come to myself. The way we enjoying, I know you're getting there. May you get, and everything is there. So if you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. If you hear a show, allow me in my show. I want time to go, I tell you in my show.
So I'm money that I need and pray. That thing on my mind, I'm killing me. Fragile the crib, I make all the day.